The Cowboys didn't just win, they sent a message the entire NFL couldn't ignore. By demolishing the Packers, Dallas silenced every critic and flipped the narrative in dramatic fashion. From the opening snap to the final whistle, this was dominance, confidence, and execution at its highest level. Analysts are scrambling to explain it, fans are celebrating, and rival teams are officially on notice. When the Cowboys play like this, the league has no choice but to pay attention. Nobody saw this coming. Not the analysts. Not the so-called NFL experts. And definitely not the Green Bay Packers. Because last night, the Dallas Cowboys didn't just win a game, they sent a message to the entire league. A message so loud, so violent, and so undeniable that the NFL had no choice but to stop and stare. The Cowboys didn't survive the Packers. They demolished them. And after what we just witnessed, the conversation around Dallas has officially changed. From the very first snap, you could feel it. This wasn't a normal Sunday matchup. This wasn't two teams feeling each other out. This was Dallas walking into the game with something to prove. All week long, the noise was there. Doubters saying the Cowboys couldn't beat physical teams. Critics saying they fold under pressure. Pundits claiming Green Bay was built to expose Dallas. And what did the Cowboys do? They took every one of those takes and buried them. The opening drive set the tone immediately. The Cowboys' offense came out fast, aggressive, and completely locked in. No hesitation. No fear. Just precision. Dak Prescott looked like a quarterback who had heard all the criticism and decided he was done being polite. Quick reads, confident throws, total command of the offense. And before Green Bay even had time to breathe, Dallas was already in the end zone. But this wasn't just an offensive statement. This was a complete team takeover. The defense? Ruthless. The Packers tried to establish the run early, hoping to slow things down and control the tempo. That plan died instantly. Dallas' defensive front dominated the line of scrimmage. Penetration on every snap. No running lanes. No comfort. Green Bay's offense looked shocked, like they weren't prepared for the level of physicality Dallas brought. And then came the moment that changed everything. A third down situation where Green Bay desperately needed momentum. The quarterback drops back, pressure collapses the pocket, and boom, strip sack. The ball pops loose. Dallas recovers. The stadium erupts. That wasn't just a turnover. That was a psychological blow. From that moment on, you could see it in Green Bay's body language. They were rattled. The Cowboys capitalized immediately. Short field. Efficient execution. Touchdown. Just like that, Dallas was up 2 scores, and the Packers were already chasing. This is where the Cowboys have struggled in the past, letting teams hang around, easing off the gas. But not this time. This team stayed aggressive. They smelled blood, and they went for the kill. Dak continued to carve up the defense with surgical precision. He spread the ball around, hitting receivers in stride, converting third downs like it was practice. The offensive line deserves serious credit here. They protected beautifully. Dak had time. The run game was balanced. Everything worked. This was one of the most complete offensive performances we've seen from Dallas in years. And let's talk about the defense again, because what they did was borderline unfair. Every time Green Bay tried to adjust, Dallas already had the answer. Blitzes timed perfectly. Coverage tight. No easy throws. No second chances. The Cowboys' defense played fast, angry, and disciplined. That combination is deadly in the NFL. By halftime, the score wasn't just lopsided, it was embarrassing. Analysts who spent the entire week hyping up the Packers suddenly went silent. Social media exploded. Fans from around the league were forced to admit what they didn't want to say out loud. The Cowboys weren't just good. They were dominant. The second half was supposed to be Green Bay's opportunity to respond. You know the narrative. Good teams make adjustments. The Packers will fight back. That storyline lasted about 5 minutes. Dallas came out and immediately shut it down. Another defensive stop. Another efficient drive. Another score. At that point, the game was effectively over. But the Cowboys didn't coast. That's the scary part. They kept pushing. They kept hitting. They kept executing. This wasn't about running up the score. This was about establishing an identity. This was Dallas saying, "This is who we are now." One of the most impressive things about this performance was the discipline. No sloppy penalties. No mental mistakes. No unnecessary risks. Just clean, professional football. That's the kind of performance you expect from a team that's serious about making a deep playoff run. And you could see the confidence growing with every snap. The sideline energy was different. Players feeding off each other. Coaches staying aggressive. This didn't look like a team hoping to win. This looked like a team expecting to win. Green Bay tried everything to stop the bleeding. Different coverages. Tempo changes. Trick plays. None of it worked. Dallas was locked in. When you dominate a team like the Packers, a franchise with history, pride, and talent, you don't just earn a win. You earn respect. By the fourth quarter, the game had turned into a statement exhibition. Cowboys' backups still played with intensity. The defense still swarmed. The offense still moved the ball. That's culture. That's depth. That's belief. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard told one story. But the real story was deeper. The Cowboys had silenced the NFL. All the jokes. All the doubts. All the lazy narratives. Gone. At least for now. This win changes how Dallas is viewed across the league. You don't demolish a team like Green Bay by accident. You do it because you're prepared, talented, and mentally tough. This wasn't luck. This was execution. And now the pressure shifts. Because after a performance like this, expectations rise. The Cowboys have officially put themselves back in the conversation. Not just as playoff contenders, but as legitimate threats. The locker room after the game said it all. Calm. Focused. No celebrating like they'd won the Super Bowl. Just a quiet confidence. A team that knows this is only the beginning. Of course, critics will still find something to say. They always do. It's just one game. Let's see them do it again. And that's fair. But what can't be denied is this: the Cowboys showed the entire league what they're capable of when everything clicks. If this is the version of Dallas we're getting going forward, the NFL is officially on notice. Because when this team plays fast, physical, and fearless football, there aren't many teams that can stand in their way. So the question now isn't whether the Cowboys are for real. The question is whether anyone is ready for them. And Cowboy Nation, if you've been waiting for a game that proves this team is different, this was it. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want the latest Dallas Cowboys news, reactions, and real talk without the media bias, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Because things are just getting started in Dallas, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.